Good morning, I am Kee-jay and I will be your reporter for today. Just sit, relax, and listen for our discussion. God bless. My topic is about definition of curriculum design, things to consider in designing curriculum. Definition of curriculum design. Curriculum design is an statement which identifies the elements of curriculum, state what their relationship are to each other, and it indicates the principle of organization and requirement of organization for the administrative condition under which it is operate, and that is according to Hilda Taba 1962. Curriculum design definition. Johnson identified the three notions of curriculum design as: first, an arrangement of selected and ordered learning outcomes intended to be achieved through instruction. Second, an arrangement of selected and ordered learning experiences to be provided in instructional situation. Third, a scheme for planning and providing learning experiences. Based on the definition, we can say that in the beginning, a curriculum, whether for a whole program or particular unit, we are planning an intellectual journey for our student, which includes the series of experiences that will result them in the learning that we intended to learn. The main purpose of curriculum design is the planning period when instructors organize the instructional units for their course. Curriculum design involves planning activities, readings, lessons, and assessment that achieve educational goals. Components of designing curriculum: we should consider the philosophical and learning theories to determine if our design decisions are consonant with our basic belief concerning first people, second, what and how they should learn, third is how they should use their acquired knowledge, and components of designing. When designing curriculum, we should also concern the nature and arrangement of four basic parts. So, when we are designing curriculum, we should include the four basic parts, and that is objectives, content, learning experiences, and evaluation. So first, we have our objectives. What should be done? Ano yung matatapos natin? Next is the content. What subject matter should be included? Ano yung mga paksain dapat nating ilagay? Next is learning experiences. What instructional strategies, resources, and activities should be employed? Ano yung mga kagamitan at mga estratehiya natin sa pagtuturo na kailangan nating gamitin? Sunod ay, at panghuli ay, evaluation. What methods and instruments should be used? Judge the results of the curriculum. Ano yung mga pamantayan natin? Or ano yung mga sukatan, timbangan natin upang makita ang magiging resulta ng ating curriculum. So that's all of my report, and the next reporter will be Clarence.
Good day everyone, I am Clarence Castillo and I will be reporting sequencing curriculum content. So first, let me define sequence. Sequence is defined as the order in which content is presented to learners over time. So when we say sequence, it is the order, continuous or connected series or arrangement. Traditionally, the subjects have been arranged in a sequence according to a logical criterion, that is the logical approach of the decision makers involved. So in the past decades, curriculum sequence has been influenced by four principles, which are simple to complex, prerequisite learnings, chronology, and whole to part learning. However, these principles have been expanded to include two additional approaches to sequencing, which are increasing abstraction and spiral sequencing. So now, let's proceed to the first one, which is simple to complex. In this situation, sequence is seen as a progression from simple, subordinate components of even more complex superordinate structures. So it is the common sequence that are exercised in some of the curriculum because it is the simplest one. For example, in order for a student to understand division, he or she must master multiplication, subtraction, and addition first. Next is the prerequisite learnings. This principle is followed in subjects which consist largely of laws and principles such as physics. It is difficult to deny the need for some consideration of prerequisite learning in any educational activity. So, when we say prerequisite, it is something that is necessary to an end or to the carrying out of a function. For example, is the subject physics. In order to apply a law of motion in physics to a practical problem, one must first know the law to be able to make or get it right. Next one is the chronology. This principle suggests sequencing content according to the chronology of recorded events and is crucial if one accepts a causal relationship between events such that to understand what preceded it. So, this chronological principle can be applied or utilized forward or backward from any particular point in time. An example of this is the subject history, literature, and music because it examines its own history. Then the next one is the whole to part learning. The rationale for this principle is that understanding the whole makes possible the understanding of partial or constituent phenomena. So in this situation, a whole topic is the key to learn everything about it. It's like breaking down the whole topic into parts to make it easier to understand the whole topic. An example of this is in a literature curriculum. First, the students are recommended to know the kinds or elements of a short story and read one as an entity so that afterwards they can make their own stories as well as undertaking character and plot analysis. And now, we are on the additional approach to sequencing, which is the increasing abstraction. Content can be sequenced according to the idea that one learns most effectively what is closer or more meaningful to the learner. Thus, we can commence ordering content with one's own experiences and proceed to more remote learnings. In a similar manner, content may be arranged from concrete to abstract, which is understanding first concrete concepts before moving into abstract, idealistic, or theoretical concepts. And last is the spiral sequencing. The term was described by Brunner in connection with whole curriculum organization, but most often it is applied to smaller components of a curriculum. In his work, Brunner noted that students should be exposed to the content's basic ideas repeatedly, thus building on basic understanding until the whole concept or lot of learnings has been acquired. So, based on what Brunner has noted, as a student progresses through the curriculum, the spiraling process allows the content, which are the knowledge, skills, and values, to be reinforced or exercised, so that the end result is that the student thoroughly familiar with the requirements of the curriculum. And that ends my discussion about sequencing curriculum content. I hope you learned something from us reporters. Thank you for listening.